All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people just like you right there and just like me. All right, so this story makes me happy. Carol Kaye, the great Carol Kaye, gives the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the middle finger. I love Carol Kaye, and I like her even more now. When the Hall of Fame inductees were announced earlier this year, legendary bassist Carol Kaye's name was on the list in the category of musical excellence. All right, so let's stop here for a moment, shall we? So it's not even a full blown induction. This is kind of like that side induction thing they do where they're like, yeah, we don't want to really honor you like in a big way, but we're going to give you some award. They did this, I believe, for Judas Priest, and they're probably going to do it for people who the general population really wants in, but they're not going to put them in completely. Although they did surprise me with some of the people that they nominated this year and a couple that got in, but for the most part, they've got so much catching up to do. It won't happen in anyone's lifetime. So they'll all be, people will be dead, the fans will be dead and gone for a long time, and then they'll be like, hey, maybe we should put the Guess Who into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What about Three Dog Night? You think they're good? Maybe we'll give them the Musical Excellence Award or something. Anyway, the legendary bassist who played on Pet Sounds, right? She played on Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. I mean, Brian Wilson hired this woman. She influenced Paul McCartney, and it says here she played on thousands of pop songs. She's boycotting this ceremony in November in LA. And she did this interview with the New York Crimes. Kaye, who's 90, tells the newspaper, I don't do things because other people want me to do them. I have to do the things the way I see fit. And the way she sees it, she tells the Times, first off, I'm not a rocker. I'm a jazz musician. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. What about Dolly Parton? That was, hey, she's not really a rocker. She's a country person. But they put her in too. And not only did they put Dolly in, but they didn't give her just a musical excellence award. And Dolly pushed back and said, no, I don't really deserve this. You guys keep the award. And then she changed her mind because, her manager probably tapped her on the shoulder or somebody said, hey, Dolly, I see dollar signs. So why don't you go out there and do a rock album, which she did following the induction, and you can make a ton of money. By the way, you could walk into Cracker Barrel, a place that is really hurting right now, just as a side note, because of their whole, we're going to change everything, including the food. And now I see little ads for Cracker Barrel. Anyway, you could walk into that establishment, and her album would be right there, and you could purchase a copy of Rock Star by Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is not a rock star. And Carol Kaye is saying here, I'm a jazz musician. She goes on to say, I'm not a soloist. Her language is far more sophisticated, and she's basically saying, look, I'm a jazzer. And most jazz people, I'm sorry, they look down on people in the rock and roll world because they play really difficult and complicated stuff, weird time signatures. And this is why a lot of people don't like jazz, although I do. I like the smoother variety, the stuff you can take on the big yacht when you go cruising the Gulf of America. Oh, did I say Gulf of America? Sorry. Yeah, it's called the Gulf of America. I'm in trouble. She goes on to say, I worked in the studio as part of a team. All right. So she's basically saying it was a team effort. Maybe she's hinting that if you were going to do this, you should have put us all in together. The team, who Kaye's best known work is done with, is called the Wrecking Crew. By the way, she hates the name the Wrecking Crew. And maybe she is skipping the ceremony because her recognition is overdue. Drummer Hal Blaine was inducted in 2000, as was fellow bass icon James Jamerson. Ooh. So maybe a little sexism here from the Hall of Fame, who is supposed to be following those DEI protocols and guidelines now. Kind of interesting, right? I think maybe she was ticked off then. She's ticked off now. By the way, the article, which is posted on a classic rock website, says this: Kaye has also been called a crank for criticizing the 2008 Wrecking Crew documentary. Again, she tells The Times, when you get put on a pedestal, you better say the right things or else you're going to be known as nasty. But I tell people, listen, this is what happened. This is how I feel. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. So again, she doesn't like the name The Wrecking Crew for whatever reason, and she's got a right to not like it. Whether she attends or not, Kaye's legacy is secure. The late Brian Wilson once called Kaye the best bassist in the world, while Paul McCartney tells The Times that hearing Carol's work on Pet Sounds really changed my style. Now, if you want to watch the Hall of Fame inducement, it'll be streaming live on Disney Plus, an organization that's not doing all that well. The Disney brand really suffering. That's going to happen November 8th, okay? So that means you have to get a subscription to Disney Plus to watch the one thing, and then, after that, you need to cancel your subscription, and if you forget, oh well, because they're still going to charge your credit card, all right? So good for Carol Kaye. Just putting, just putting these people in their place, because I think they just use certain people to say, look at our portfolio. Look at what we've done as the Hall of Fame. We put in the great Carol Kaye after they had already put in Hal Blaine and James Jamerson, which was a crime. They should have put Carol in with those guys and maybe honor all of them if they were all still here. I don't know if Hal was here or James was still here in 2000. I'm thinking maybe they were, so that would have been the time to do this. But once this documentary came out and people learned about how great she was or is, then, hey, maybe we should see. This is all, instead of just going by merit or whatever, this is all connected to the media driving narratives and then people being recognized because the media all of a sudden noticed you. And this is what happened with Carol Kaye. I went back and listened to her, and I'm like, yeah, this lady is fantastic. And she's got some great solo stuff you can go listen to. But yeah, she's a jazzer. And jazzers, they're like, forget you. I mean, I play difficult music, and these guys are just banging out chords. And when it comes to bass lines, I'm sophisticated, and most musicians are just, very basic in the rock world. And that's not always true. There are exceptions to that. There are some great bass players in the rock world, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole them. But Carol is just saying, I don't want to do this. So too bad, guys. I'm not going, and your institution, again, is either too late or trying to be all politically correct, and I'm not playing your game. So I like Carol Kaye. Good for her. I mean, we know she's good. We don't certainly need the Hall of Fame to tell us that she's good. The Hall of Fame, they've got bigger fish to fry, like getting the bands in that need to go in, all right? Bands from the 80s, bands from the 70s, even a couple of bands from the 1960s, like Steppenwolf, okay? Where is Steppenwolf? They're not in the Hall of Fame. Super influential band. It's perplexing. I could go on, and I'm not going to because I tend to ramble, all right? And I don't want to ramble. So, well, I do. I do want to ramble, but I'm going to leave, all right? I'm going, so don't worry. I'll be back, so stay tuned for more great content right here on the Harmless Dave channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications on new videos. And if you appreciate the stuff that I do here, there's Patreon. There's Buy Me a Coffee. I've been getting some coffee lately. See, I've got the mug here. All right. All right. So what does the mug say? It says, I love coffee, right? So it's true. It's 100% true. I drink quite a bit. So, yeah, if you do buy me a coffee, that's helpful. And then PJ Rock Super Chats. If you're leaving comments, you can do a super chat, and that helps me. But anyway, folks, I appreciate everybody who has stuck with me. I'm still trying to build this channel back better than the other channel, and that's going to be a pretty long process. So thanks again. God bless, and I will see you soon.